How you guys doing? Everybody have a good holiday? Yeah, I'm Italian, so it's a big holiday for us. All right, and being Italian, there's a lot of generalizations about Italians, but I can tell you a few things. We love our food, we love our family, and we love our Catholicism. One thing we don't like are people that aren't Italian. We don't like them. In case you hadn't noticed, my last name Werts. Not Italian. Okay? So you can imagine my husband meeting my family. And keep in mind that I was a cougar back when cougars, before they were even cool. Okay? I was 25. My husband-to-be was 19. That's right. I figured, I'm a woman of the world. I know how to seduce this man. So I put on my tightest low-cut sweater and a little mini skirt, some high heels, and I strutted right over to him. And I leaned over and I said, I can legally buy booze. I'm married 14 years.
Yeah.
Right? It works. I knew what I was doing. But it was scary for my husband to have to meet my family, because another thing about Italians is we don't go anywhere alone. We travel in packs. 20 to 40, that's a small group. So my 6-foot, blonde-haired, blue-eyed German boyfriend was coming to meet my family, and every guinea I had ever met was there. Like, you couldn't have swung a cat by the tail not hitting an Italian in my mom's house. And they're all talking, and they're having a great time, and they're eating and laughing. And he walks in, and it was like the music stopped. They're all looking at him. And they say, "Are you Italian?" And he says, "No." And my great aunts fold their arms across their chest, and they go, "Hmm." Roll their eyes, and I was like, oh God, this is going to suck. Because I know the next question is, are you Catholic? Okay. Now, my husband is Episcopalian. You couldn't get closer to Catholicism, but when he said that he wasn't Catholic, my great aunts, they were like, oh my God! They're all like blessing themselves, they're rocking back and forth. Like he had just announced that he slaughtered puppies in the name of Satan. They were not happy. But as most Italians, we move on, okay? Because within 20 minutes, the same aunt was up in front of my boyfriend, and he was like maybe 20 at the time, and she's like, Letty, this boob is bigger than this boob. So when I go out, if the man like a boob, I turn it this way. If he don't like a boob, I turn it this way. And all I can think of is, why are you discussing your breasts? Why? But they moved on. They decided that they really liked him. In fact, I got married late. I was 29. And it's kind of at that point in your life where everybody that you went to high school with is either gay or married. And each side's checking you out. I don't know, she played sports. You know, so I was kind of late, and I had that little like panic moment where I was trying to talk to my mom, and I was like, you know, I don't know, this is just him? Forever? I had a promise in front of God? And like most Italian mothers, she was very supportive. She was like, they make one saint a century, and you've got him. March your fat ass down that aisle and marry him. Because if you leave, he stays, we like him better. So I got married. But my mom has not always been so unsupportive. At one point in my life, I had to have chemotherapy, and I smoked pot. Thank you. Clapping for me having chemo. Yeah, and I'm the only chick that had chemo and lost like 3 pounds. I don't know how the hell that happened. But I did smoke pot, and my mother was mortified. Okay? I'm 43 years old. My mother grew up in the 50s where like chicks that smoked cigarettes in the bathroom were bad. And in her mind, heroin, pot, crack, methamphetamine, they're all the same. Angel dust, it's drugs. So I'm sitting there and she's sitting there and I'm starting to smoke it and I said, do you want some? And she goes, I'm not a druggie like you. All right. So I'm smoking a little bit more and then she leans over and she goes, I would like to try the marijuana cigarette. Marijuana cigarette? I said, it's called a joint. I don't know your druggy slang. Fine. Now, my mom doesn't inhale. Okay, she would smoke cigarettes in the 70s, and it was just like, you know, those long, thin cigarettes that you just puff. So, this was my mom smoking pot. She took the marijuana cigarette. She held it, like, dainty and everything, and then she took a puff, and she stuck her boobies out. It doesn't do anything for me. Post it down. So I sat her down, I taught her how to inhale, and I gotta tell you, my mother is very accelerated. She went through all the stages of a pothead in one fell swoop. She was like scared, you know, and disgusted, and then after a little bit, she's like this. Oh, honey. Do this. Oh, this is fabulous. I'm not going to have sex again until I have this. Do you have any Snickers? You know, and then she went through that reflective state, you know, like potheads, we all think we're deep and whatnot. And so she had gotten comfortable enough that she had the joint hanging out of the corner of her mouth. And she's like, you know, if I had had this when you were growing up, I would have been a better mother. Amen, Mom. Amen.